Welcome back to Giant Monster Week. With Pacific Rim coming out at the end of the week, we here at 31 Film Talk are taking a look at some monster movies that are already out and you can see for yourself. For today's review, we're going to be looking at from South Korea, The Host, a movie released in 2006 that features an interesting monster with an interesting story. The story is inspired by real-life events that include some chemical dumping and the American military being somewhere they really shouldn't be. Two scientists dump some stuff down into the sewers that gets in there, mutates, some tadpole thing into this giant monster, and it wreaks havoc and it steals a little girl from our main characters and they gotta find her. One thing I really like about this movie, which I have seen several times and I like it more and more each time I see it, is I really love the human characters. Our main character is honestly a slacker and a failure at life. I know that sounds very unappealing, but just the way it's portrayed, I just really like the character. He's funny to watch, and he goes for it. Every time there's a moment in the movie where it needs to be extreme, or it's an emotional, situation, he just goes for it, and it's just so fun to watch. The rest of the characters in the movie, at least the main characters, are his family members. There's his brother, his sister, his father, and they're just all they're really interesting people. It's like a slice of life kind of characters. It's not some like scientist we don't really know about, or somebody who's part of the military and we just don't really care or whatever. These are real, everyday, normal people who are doing real things that everyday people would do in their lives. And they have to deal with a big monster that stole a little girl, and they got to get her back. They don't have expert hacking skills. They don't have access to the military to help them or anything. They're on their own, and they got to do it. With this movie being released in the 2000s, the special effects are even higher than what we've seen here on Giant Monster Week. Most of the time, the effects on the monster look really good, but there is one scene at the end of the movie that involves the monster getting caught on fire, and the fire CG looks awful. So the whole movie I just really enjoy. I love the characters, the story is very interesting. I love all the scenery, the backdrops, and all the locations and everything are really cool, really shows off Korea in a really cool way. The movie's kind of unpredictable, which I like, because it's a little offbeat, which makes it fun, and you can't really predict it per se. And the movie, too, is a little scary. It has a few, jump moments that, if you're not used to movies like this, they might jump and you might get scared a little bit. So if you couldn't tell by now, I just really love this movie. Every time I watch it, I think it just gets better and better. It's a serious movie, but it has humor. It has very likable characters, interesting story, and great locations. I love the locations. It really sucks you in and makes you feel part of it. I just love it. 31 Film Talk movie grade for The Host is going to be a B+.